Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Good Raider. On today's episode, Jermod McCoy. Yes, I want to do a full breakdown of Jermod McCoy. He was the 4th round pick that is injured. So let's do a full breakdown, hoping that the injury will not prevent him from having a really good NFL career, but also understanding that there is a possibility, according to medical experts, that he doesn't play football ever again. So the range is from he's going to be okay to may never see the field. Okay, let's get started.
With the 101st pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Jermod McCoy, defensive back, Tennessee.
Didn't wait very long, did they? No question, and that's why you move up one spot when you get a chance to get what's a top 20 player in this.
His comparison is J.C. Horn. That's good. He's twitchy.
Draft class. Look at the comparison to J.C. Horn. That's how talented this guy is. If he had stayed healthy through the process, not only top 20 pick, maybe top 10 pick and the #1 corner off the board based off this 24 tape you're looking at right here. He is big. He's long. You see the ability to disrupt at the line of scrimmage.
So one thing about him is he's twitchy, and you can see the twitchiness the way he just kind of quickly moved his hand there. The #1 thing I noticed about him, though, is that he's big. He's a true outside corner. Yeah, he's big. This is not a twinner. This is not a small dude. He is a legit outside corner. #1 corner. In this draft, Jermod McCoy was the second best based on skill and talent, the second best defensive back. However, the fact that everyone keeps talking about this injury does mean that perhaps he really may have a major injury. He did run a 4.3 though at his pro day, not the combine, but his pro day. He ran a 4.3, showing that it seems that the leg is fine. But the thing to keep in mind here is that what doctors are saying is that, yeah, the leg will be fine, but he's going to need another replacement. So the question is then, is he going to need another surgery and then no more replacements, or will he have to keep going in for replacements, or eventually will the bone just be too degenerative for any kind of recovery? Okay. Here's the good news. Here's the really good news. I don't see it on here. But Jermod McCoy is only 20 years old. That's really young. That's really young. So, hopefully there's a good chance then that his body is still young enough to just kind of heal properly, so then he'll return to the field. But when he is on the field, he is 6 foot and 3/4. So that's more like close to 6'1", at 188. But when you actually watch him, how did that close? When you actually watch him, that's not what I was looking for.
Turn to melatonin.
Okay, when you see him here, he plays like he's big, right? He just looks big, doesn't he? I mean, 6 foot 188. Yeah, that's pretty standard for. Well, that could be more free safety size too. So there it is. He is pretty big. So cornerback would be between 170, 175 to 180. He's 188. Yeah, he's close to free safety size. And you can tell that he's just big, right? Which I think will be helpful for him to go up against big wide receivers. As a matter of fact, because the NFL does have quite a lot of big wide receivers, making him primarily an outside receiver, right? An outside cornerback.
Sleep.
So because of his size, he just doesn't get muscled very much. Right? You just can't really muscle him.
I can tell a story on God just like I'm 10-4.
Like he's able
like I'm 10-4.
Yeah, right. He's just able to kind of just stick. Intercepted. Another good positive with Jermod McCoy. Penalties. He doesn't get a lot of them. Okay. The reason why that matters, obviously, is because for good corners, for top-end corners, how well can you guard without drawing penalties is a pretty big deal. That's like a really big deal for the Patrick Surtains of the NFL. So intercepted by Jermod. This feels too loud. Let me turn that down a bit. Being able to see him.
Use his feet.
No nigga died for picking sides and playing. No nigga slide for weed. I can't trust no nigga got 4 pistols.
Yeah, and so the point I'm making here is he just seems like a pretty big player. Like this guy would not be dwarfed on the football field by a wide receiver. Even Terrell McMillan, I believe, is 6'3". 6'3", 6'1". It's 2 inches of difference, but in game, having a 6'1" guy who also is pushing around 190, that makes him a really good outside cornerback because, like I said before, he's not gonna get out-muscled by a lot of wide receivers. And also, he ran a 4.3. I believe he ran a 4.35, meaning he's also not gonna get out-speeded out by a lot of wide receivers. Hence, the reason why he was being projected as the number 2 cornerback in the draft without the injury. So again, goes back to this idea that if this draft works out, the Raiders are going to be beneficiaries of one of the potentially best cornerbacks in the entire NFL. And they got him at the 4th. But again, every team passed on him for a reason. So, and that's what I'm saying. Raider Nation, everything passed on him for a reason. We're just kind of hoping that the leg comes back. He comes back from the injury. Oh man, this is just such a muscle. Look at this guy. Wow. So that's the hope there. So let's check out some weaknesses. Let's see what ESPN says about his weaknesses. Struggles to stay in phase against speedy route benders. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So he's going to struggle against a JSN. Yeah. He's going to struggle against that. JSN is a shorter guy, quicker. So this is not just pure speed. This is quickness. He's going to struggle against guys who would just have quickness. But guys who tend to have quickness also tend to be smaller in height and in weight. Loses poise and will grab when the rep becomes challenging, like any cornerback would. Needs better physicality to suffocate workspace on verticals. Okay, cool. Needs better physicality, which is fine because he's already 188, so he's good on that. And I don't even think I want to push him any more than 188. Honestly, 188 to 190 is about good because, like I said, 188 to about 190, we'll get into free safety size. And 6 foot, add another inch, maybe 2 inches, and you do become a free safety. Maybe even a strong safety. So needs better physicality. Okay, he's already got the size. He just needs to be able to. He needs more confidence using that size and being confident to not draw penalties. Like I said, he doesn't get a lot of penalties, but it's probably because he's not being as physical as it could be. So on the next level in the NFL, what we need to teach him is how to be more spatially physical, how to dominate a space without putting hands on the wide receiver. Displays some indecision in zone switch-offs. Okay. So this is more football IQ. Zone switch-offs, obviously, this might lead into why he gets beat by JSN type of wide receivers, the breakers receivers, because those type of receivers work really well in zones because you can do a lot of crosses that's going to confuse, maybe not even confuse, but based on the quickness of the in receivers, slot receivers, Jermod McCoy just might not be able to quickly catch up enough because, like I said, guys like JSN tend to have a lot of quickness. They'll, like guys like Tyreek Hill, they'll get those breaks really, really quickly, quicker than somebody who was 6 foot 3/4 and 188, right? A JSN or Tyreek Hill, or Tyreek Hill will be able to get those breaks better, right? And also, it doesn't help that he had an ACL injury, because here's the thing with injuries like ACL, frontline speed may not be an issue. Like just going straight may not be an issue. The issue may be the pivoting of the cuts, because you have to plant your feet, and as you plant your feet, it's gonna create a shock on those knees, and being able to break out of those may be more of the difficulty. I know this because I have a particular groin injury that I can go full go right now in a straight line and be perfectly perfect. But in a super competitive situation where you have to pivot and break a lot, it's going to stress that injury. So that's the question there. Would a side-to-side movement stress the ACL injury so that even though you can run a 4.3 in actual game speed, especially against breaking wide receivers, slants, outs, he may not have that speed to be able to catch up to those. Okay. More drag down tackler than full body hitter. This is pretty typical for cornerbacks in general. One of the reasons why cornerbacks are not safeties is because cornerbacks are generally not hitting machines. That's not their first goal, right? Hitting. I'm talking about hard hitting. Their goal is going to be generally to get the ball runner down, and obviously not waste their body going up against bigger bodies. But he is a tackler. They're just saying that he's not a full hitter. He's not a full body hitter. And you would think he could be a full body hitter since he is 188, 6 foot. But again, he's a corner, not a safety. He doesn't think of hitting first. He thinks of defending and using his body to create leverage and spacing so he can get the ball first. So I don't see that as a negative. I see that as just he's a corner, not a safety. And he missed 2025 season with ACL tear. He missed all season with that. So by the time the season starts, yes, the word is he might be ready to go by the time the season starts. The big question now that I've been hearing is, are we talking we are going to let him play this season and then next season and kind of just evaluate the knee as each season progresses? The only comparison that I can think of, even though it's not a good enough comparison, is Todd Gurley. Todd, I don't like that name. It's a weird name to pronounce. Todd Gurley, who had a degenerative knee condition, and I believe he was only in the NFL for 6 seasons. And Todd Gurley was being regarded as a generational running back, and he really was. Todd Gurley was extremely good running back. He was fantastic. Think of what's his name for the Falcons? The guy for the Falcons. Think of him. That's Todd Gurley. But because of the knee, he was only able to have 6 seasons in the NFL. He played for the Rams, I believe. I know he played for the Rams, but I believe he only played 6 seasons. So that's the second option that we're talking about here. Are we talking about a good player who maybe only has 6 seasons left on that knee to play top ball game, get paid, right? If so, you might have an extremely motivated player. McCoy may be a starter this year. If that is the reality of his knee, that this doct that we put in is going to last 6 more seasons, 6 more years, maybe 7, but you can also bank on 5, meaning he needs to get a second contract after the second year. He needs to solidify a second contract after the second year to then maybe play 4 to maybe 5 or maybe 3 more years. Yeah. Here's the thing. The Raiders are not pushing for the Super Bowl this year. But the Raiders will be pushing for a Super Bowl soon. Maybe not next year. Next year they're gonna be pushing for a playoff. By year 3, they're gonna start pushing for a Super Bowl. Okay. Even if McCoy can only play 6 more seasons, Raider Nation might get him. We might get him on his prime age years. Right? We're talking between the age of 20 to 28. Or perhaps that's wishful thinking, but that is a possibility that we're going to have one of the best corners in the NFL, get him in the 4th, which means the first 2 years are cheap, guaranteed to be cheap. If he breaks out in the first 2 years, then he can get a new contract in the 3rd year, or we can trade him, but we probably won't trade him, depending on what else we have. But you'll get the first 2 years really cheap. Okay. I don't have a problem with that. So in 2023, he played 12 games with 5 starts, 31 tackle, 2 interceptions, 7 breakups. Okay. In 2024, second season of SEC, led with 9 pass breakups, tied for the team lead with 4 interceptions. Okay, they played all 13 games. And then he probably got injured in offseason, it looks like. Yeah, during training in January. Okay. Okay. His athleticism in his recoveries. Okay, remember he's a 4.35 runner. So he can recover well, but again, that ACL is going to be a thing, though. It might be a thing on side-to-side movements, because side-to-side movements plays a really big role in recovering when somebody's trying to beat you because of the pivots, right? Because you got to pivot back and forth. So it's not just going straight. So people are saying that he ran a 4.3 at Pro Day. It's like, good, he did, but that's straight line. Right? Did he do the shuffle? Did he do any other? I don't really know. But regardless, the biggest problem is going to be the side-to-side movement. But average acceleration, there it is. So average acceleration sees him chasing down guys like JSN. That's why, again, he's not a slot receiver. He's an outside. He's not a slot corner. He's an outside corner. Because he's going to be weak against guys like JSN, because he doesn't have the acceleration, but he does have the top end speed. So he's going to be really hard to beat deep. Obviously, again, he's a corner. Let's just say most likely a third half type of corner. I don't really know what Tennessee runs on defense, but I know what Tennessee runs on offense. And if they have the same philosophy on defense, it's going to be a deep route third corner who is going to just take out 1/3 of the field. Right? So you get 2 corners going deep, and then you got the safety going deep, and then the strong safety bring it into the box. If that's what they run. I'm going to assume they run something similar to that, because, again, he's not an acceleration type of guy. So he's not going to be good against the slot receivers. He's going to be good against the outside receivers, particularly the big outside receivers who want to muscle you. He will not get muscled by them. Okay. Former triple and long jumper with explosive low. Yes. I can guarantee you right now, this dude can jump well. Again, that's why he's an outside receiver. Patient in the early phase, allowing receivers to declare before opening. Okay, allowing receivers to declare before opening. That means he doesn't get faked out. He's gonna wait. Let's see your dance, and then see where you move, because he's gonna trust his speed and his athleticism to catch up to you when you make that break. The reason, again, why the ACL scares people is that those movements, those side to side movements, waiting for a receiver to do the. Those are all movements that your knee is gonna have to be able to carry for a long time. So that's the fear there. Can his knee carry that? Quick, confident feet can match, release, and recover when beat. Yes. Oily hips. Okay, good. Creates good movement. So his movement is pretty good. Side to side is pretty good. Again, unless the ACL kind of comes in and wrecks that a bit. Has the size to become more imposing underneath. Yeah, and this right here, that's size, and you can see the size on the field. He's not a small corner. Shows ability to gather and redirect when matching comebacks. Okay, perfect. Doesn't guard grass and will look to overlap in zone coverage. Engulfs wideouts at catch point for fast finish. There it is. This is his biggest stat right here. That's not translatable into a number, but this is his biggest attribute. He can engulf a wide receiver at the catch point for fast finishes and pass breakups. That means it's really good in spacing because he knows how to use his body well to create leverage in space. Like he on that one outplay here. This is what he's doing here.
Can use his feet.
Right? This is perfect because
Young nigga died for
sticking with him, and he just boxed out the wide receiver. Just boxed him out. That's it. Didn't even put hands on him, just boxed him out. Right? So, and against bigger receivers, yeah, he can still do the same thing, and then he has enough jump to compete with somebody like a Tedero McMillan on the at the catch point. I want to see that first play first.
Hey, Zia, you know they do this. What I say, nigga?
See that?
Breaking loose. Turn the hot nigga with Jumbo juice. Put a crouton on the back of their Gen 5. Why? So
That's actually not bad tackling. That's actually not bad tackling.
I like kangaroos. Draco hit him in the side of his head, turn it to baby food. Bitch, I been had rent up in these streets. These niggas rap about motion. I can't wait to catch them lacking. They turn to melatonin. Sleep. Hey, I first said that I could tell a story on God just like I'm 10-fold.
Yeah, this one right here. This is a really good fight right here. See, no hands on the receiver. Catch point. Boom. They still got the pick. The good thing about being a corner is you don't have to catch the ball. You just have to deflect the ball, so you can use one hand. A receiver's got to catch the ball, so receivers will try to use two hands. Defender, he's got to boop one hand. Okay, that will actually end the profile on Jermod McCoy. I think yes, we got a steal. We did get a steal. However, we're talking if the injury is not a big problem. So, best case scenario is obvious. Everything's fine. He'll play the next 12 years and be the next Patrick Surtain. Worst case scenario is that he doesn't play at all or only plays one season. The more likely scenario is that maybe he gets in 6 to 7 seasons. Right? Okay. So, all in all, great pick by the Raiders. I think it was a good choice, especially in the fourth, trading up one spot to get him. Really good choice. I really applaud Spatek for doing it. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. We're not done streaming, though. We're not done streaming because I am about to hop into a game. Yes, I'm about to play a game because this is a rated channel, but I am also an avid lover of video games. So I'm about to hop in and play Sorrows. The game came out yesterday. So that is what we're going to do now. So, excuse us while we switch over to the PS5.